Hi everyone, Alyssa Wright here, Fundraising Consultant and part of the New Hampshire Gives 2019 team. I'm so thrilled to be able to share a little bit with you about what we covered at the workshop that I hosted a few weeks ago for organizations all across the state, in the hopes that watching this video will inspire you to be a little more strategic this year, as well as do great follow-up to build new relationships that can sustain your mission into the future and beyond. So let me start with sharing the first tip that I talk to everyone about, with is lead with story. So make sure that you're leading throughout all your materials with both your personal story and the organizational story. People give when they see passion, so make sure that the content that you're using is really passionate, unique, and relevant for the times that we're living in. The second tip that I shared was to make sure you're thinking like a donor. Sit in the philanthropy seat and think about what would compel you to give, not only on New Hampshire Gives Day, but even beyond. If you think like a donor, if you claim your own philanthropy, and if you think, what would make me give this $25 right now, and click, you're more likely to develop and design content and experiences throughout the day on New Hampshire Gives that people want to give to. So recall your own experiences. Think about the best asks that were made of you in 2018 and the worst asks that were made of you in 2018, and remind yourself to stick to the values of the good ones and to avoid the bad ones at all costs. The next tip that I shared was to make sure you're prepared. Setting an organizational goal is super important, and a realistic one that pushes the organization to grow a little bit. So outside of perhaps just making the goal a financial one, we want to raise $5,000 on the day, or making it purely about the number of donors. We want to engage 100 new donors on New Hampshire Gives Day. Think outside the box about something that you can launch on New Hampshire Gives Day that could really be a catalyst for all your other fundraising efforts. A sample of this might be an organizational goal around engaging more women donors. Maybe you want to capitalize on the fact that women are stepping up in philanthropy, especially throughout our area, and you want to really target and engage women donors to give to your campaign. You might also want to think about a goal that could help you with crowdfunding and Facebook fundraisers into the year and beyond. Maybe you really want to focus and hone in and grow your Facebook community throughout this process to try to create more Facebook birthday fundraisers throughout the year. So again, set an organizational goal that isn't just a financial goal per se or something that has to do with numbers, but something that could really deeply support and impact the culture of the organization into the future. The next tip that I shared was on the day that you execute that crazy 24 hours, make sure you're keeping momentum. Every hour have a goal. Every hour have folks that you're engaging. Do exciting things at the office, Facebook Live them, take photos and upload them. Keep the momentum going, and literally prep and drink a lot of coffee, because you're going to need that caffeine to keep you going from posting at 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to 10 of midnight. So make sure you're really keeping that momentum going and you're prepared to see it as a fundraising marathon. The last tip that I shared was follow-up. Follow-up is so critical, and it's the space that we often, one, don't have the time to execute well, or we just can't prioritize because we have a lot of other things to do. So make sure you don't fall into the trap of not doing follow-up with all the new donors that'll step into community with you on New Hampshire Gives Day. Make sure that every person who gives a gift, whether it's $10 or $10,000, has a great follow-up newsletter that greets them the morning after New Hampshire Gives, sharing the goal, sharing some photos, and making sure that you offer the next engagement to them. Let them know when they can get more involved in your mission. Include your next event, or include the opportunity for them to meet with you or your executive director. Also, in that follow-up piece, make sure that you're scheduling the time on your calendar so it doesn't get lost in the mix. I tell folks after New Hampshire Gives Day, make sure that you are blocked off from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. to analyze your donor data from the day, to do great appreciation, and to map your next steps. This is the way we're going to grow relationships for the amazing missions that are throughout our state, and it's the way that we'll also feel like we're really having success when fundraising is something that can often be really hard to do. So here's to big success on New Hampshire Gives Day. I hope this video supports you a little bit as you map your plans, and thanks for all you're doing throughout our great state to make a difference. I'm so proud to be a part of the community. Take care. Bye-bye.